Here comes Alexandru for a championship point, and she's got it! If you can't tell, that's not me. But it almost was me. Yeah. See, I actually lived the life of a professional tennis player. Although I started super late. Super late. But even so, it became my life for a good 10 years. I would play morning to night, 8 hours a day. Forget school. Who needs school when you're playing professional tennis? Now, these days, I occupy myself with other things.
Rockstar. Yeah.
But back in the day, tennis was my life. It was everything. That's all I knew. That's all I did. So, I was homeschooled. But it kind of looked more like this.
M-am plictisit, nu înțeleg ce vrei de la mine.
De câte ori ți-am spus să înveți cum trebuie, ți-am arătat metoda, niciodată nu vrei să asculți.
Nu!
I also got to travel to 23 countries. 23 countries! That's unheard of. Well, maybe not, but I don't know. It just felt like a lot. It feels like a lot. Not that I remember most of them. Where the hell did I go? Anyway, and then I got a scholarship to play at a Division II university, which was ranked #1 in the country. Go, Lynn! Amazing, right? So, what is this video about? Yes, it's about people asking me. Can you believe that? They actually think someone ranked 1400 in the world is gonna play with Serena Williams. I did not play with Serena Williams. You're probably asking and wondering the same thing. I did not. No, that was not my life. No, definitely not. This video is not about how to become a professional tennis player. Well, maybe in a way it is. Which brings me to the meat of this video and why I'm here talking to you. See, a few weeks ago, there was some controversy surrounding Naomi Osaka.
It all started on the weekend when Osaka won her opening round match, but refused to show up to a press conference afterwards to answer questions from journalists.
She's huge, she's amazing. And so there was some controversy, and of course the internet had to pile on, and it was a one-sided story.
It's something that every player is expected to do after their games.
Now, by law, every time you play a tennis match, when you're at that level, you have to attend the press conference. It's for the fans. People want to know how you feel, how you play. They just want to get into your head.
Osaka explained her actions in a tweet, saying that people don't often think about the mental health of athletes and that questions from journalists can make athletes doubt themselves. And she doesn't want to subject herself to people that doubt her.
Naomi did not want people in her head. It really just comes down to that. And so she wanted to just not do those press conferences, and she was okay with being fined.
Organizers weren't happy and fined Osaka almost $20,000.
Fine me, I don't care. I don't want to talk to people, God, especially after losing a match. So I totally get it, but she hid behind something, because after the internet was like, she came out with an Instagram post and she revealed the truth. And I was like, yes, finally, someone is bringing up social anxiety as part of the many mental health problems that are plaguing everybody. But specifically people that are professional athletes, because this is what this video is about. If you are trying to become a professional athlete and you're dealing with social anxiety, you are real, you're validated, it's a true feeling. You are going through something that is hindering you, it's hindering your performance, it is holding you back from being the best version of yourself. And I know that because I went through it for 8 years of my life. Whew. Yes, I'm a little bit passionate about this subject, if you can't tell. In her Instagram post, she said that she's been dealing with a lot of depression and a lot of social anxiety. And anyone that knows her knows that she's an introvert and she puts on her headphones when she's on the court and when she walks around. And so she just wanted to avoid dealing with that on top of everything else in her world. Social anxiety is horrible. And I can't believe it's taken, I don't even know how many years, but a long time for someone to actually speak up about social anxiety as part of the plethora and myriad and whatever big word you want to choose of mental health problems that professional athletes face on and off the court. So that's what this video is about. Specifically, the impact that social anxiety has on a professional athlete, because I felt it. Social anxiety ruined my career. Case closed. Okay, no, I do want to talk about it. Now, you would think that social anxiety shows up only in social situations, but that is not the case, my friend. No, that is a misconception, I believe. And I don't know if people talk about this, but it goes so much deeper than that. It's not necessarily when you're in a social situation, it's also when there's social situations around you. Because you end up internalizing them and you just start carrying them on your back on the court. There was one particular tournament that I will never forget. It was in Switzerland. And the tennis courts were surrounded by cows. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful scenery, very bucolic. And I was playing on a center court and there was an audience on the bleachers. And I was playing the local girl. She was their person. That was her tournament. Those were her courts. And I was a stranger. I was the opponent. And they made me feel that way from the beginning. From the first miss, my first serve that I missed, they rang cowbells in the audience. Over and over. Every miss that I made, I could hear those cowbells in my head. They were ringing them. And it's normal to cheer someone on, someone that you're rooting for. But to consistently pile on the opponents when they're making mistakes is not good human behavior. Let's just put it that way. And that scarred me. And it made me feel self-conscious. Again, small, not good enough. And what do you think happened? I lost significantly. I don't think I won one game. I walked away crying. And if I still think about it, I still feel like that small, insignificant player whenever I think about this. Those cowbells were not okay. The truth is that tennis is an extremely lonely and mentally draining sport. You live in your head day in and day out, battling all your inner demons on and off the court. You face the weakest components of your mind daily, and it's enough to drive anyone crazy. Now, social anxiety played a huge role in my tennis career, and it held me back from being the best player that I could potentially be. Whether I was practicing, or I was playing a match, or I was on my way to one of those, or traveling to 25 countries, social anxiety held me back. It made me think these things. She's stuck playing with me. Oh, I feel so bad. I suck. She's so not gonna want to be friends with me after this. They're all watching me. Oh my God, what if I make a mistake? Oh my God, they're gonna downgrade me. They're gonna think that I'm a loser. I have nothing to say to anyone. I'm homeschooled, for goodness sakes, and I play tennis all day. What am I gonna talk about with people? I don't know anything else. Call them insecurities, doubts, weaknesses, but this is social anxiety's language through and through. I recognize it anywhere. So if you have similar thoughts, give it a name, because you might have social anxiety. I felt like I was constantly being negatively judged. So how do you think that translates when someone with these thoughts and feelings walks onto a tennis court and is supposed to play to win? It's not possible, is it? Namaste. Now, if those thoughts are not enough to convince you of social anxiety's impact, then let me break it down for you and show you how it played out on the court at the time. The opponent hits a ball, thinks it's in, I call it out.
What do you mean it was out? It was so in!
And of course,
You're right.
I give in,
You're
terrified
right.
of what she's thinking of me, thinking I'm a liar or a cheater. At every tournament that I went to, I was too scared to ask someone to warm up with me. So I ended up playing matches on courts I never practiced on. I was actually worried that I'd give them a bad warm-up. I have PTSD just thinking about all those years and all the horrible matches I had because of social anxiety. You know what it felt like? I felt like I was a beginner every single time I stepped on that court. And I felt like I was playing like one, that I looked like one, that no matter what I did, I would always be a beginner because I was paralyzed by what everyone else thought about me. I was more concerned and consumed about what someone else outside the fence thought about me than I was with putting a strategy in place, with thinking where to serve, how to hit a forehand, where my opponent's weakness is. Those were not things I ever thought about on the tennis court. I only thought about, I don't want to make a mistake because someone else is going to think I'm a fool, that I don't know how to play tennis, even though I play 8 hours a day. This is my identity. This is what I know. And if this is what I know and I suck at it, then who am I?
Who am I?
Now, I won't minimize my accomplishments because tennis gave me so much. I can't even express my gratitude for what tennis has given me. From the lessons, from meeting my husband on the tennis court, to getting a full ride at school, it's given me a full life. I got to travel the world. So I'm not gonna minimize the things that I've done, the journey I've been on, because I'm super proud of it. Even if I was only ranked 1400 in the world. But I cannot help wonder how far I would have gotten if I did not have to battle social anxiety on top of battling an opponent every single day. But the reason why I'm making this video is to bring attention to the fact that social anxiety can have a negative impact, even if you have a severe passion for something and you really want to make it. Now, that's not to say that it's impossible to become a professional athlete, tennis player, whatever. It's not. There's plenty of examples. Like, look at Osaka. Look how amazing she is. And she's able to become #1 in the world and win Grand Slams and have social anxiety. It is possible. Personally, for me, I had other mental weaknesses to deal with on top of social anxiety, that it was just a really bad combination. Secondly, you can totally overcome it as long as you're aware that this is what you're dealing with. I did not know I had social anxiety until I was able to put a name to it years later when I was in corporate. That's when I realized that I've been dealing with social anxiety for a long, long time. It was not something that I could pinpoint, to talk about, to fix when I was in the middle of it, which is why I want to bring this to your attention, that if this is something that you're currently going through, it has a name and you can overcome it and you can be successful. I also do want to point out that social anxiety is not an excuse. This is not the reason why I did not make it. It's one of the many reasons why I didn't make it. So don't hide behind this excuse, even though social anxiety is holding you back in certain aspects. And lastly, there are many ways and strategies to overcome social anxiety once you've identified that that's the issue. And that's when I say follow this channel for a lot of social anxiety tips. See you later.